Hi, partner. How are you? Good to see you.
You got
Happy
me
New Year,
fired
Brandel.
up for 22. Happy New Year, Rich.
I
Happy
am
New Year
getting
to
there. I
everybody
am.
watching. You got me fired up looking back at 2026 right there. But I'll
Yeah.
just, in general, say, Rich, there are a lot of things to be looking forward to in 2026. But this is a new era in professional golf, both on the PGA Tour under new leadership in Brian Rolapp, the first full year for him, and on the LPGA Tour, first full year with Craig Kessler. So these are extremely bright guys, extremely successful guys. They got a great group of people around them. So I'm really looking forward to see what they can do on their respective PGA Tour and LPGA tours.
Brandel, I said earlier this week that the PGA Tour had a phenomenal year, principally because its two best players had prolific, we just saw this, prolific and historically significant years. What's your sense to what that might lead to in 2026?
Boy, you always hear, it's tough to follow a great round with another one. Well, we're going to find out if the PGA Tour can follow one of the most compelling and historic years of all time with another compelling and historic years. You just did it, look back, but really quickly, if you just go back, and I'm going to go back to the first major of the year, and no, I'm not talking about the Masters. I'm talking about the Players' Championship, because in every single metric that you would call a tournament a major championship by quality of field, the stage, and the history that it's created. In my view, the Players is a major championship. And when you look at the prologue or the preamble that was set there by Scottie Scheffler and JJ Spaun of what was to come, that wobbly putt that Rory made on the last green to get into that playoff with the JJ Spaun, and then the drive he hit on the very first hole of that playoff, which reverberated throughout the whole year, eventually leading to him winning the Players' Championship. We know what he did at the Masters. It was the most triumphant and tragic shots we've ever seen hit in the final round of any major championship that any of us can remember. Scottie Scheffler right back on track at the PGA, JJ Spaun with the 60-footer at the US Open, and then Scottie Scheffler once again with a dominant win at the Open Championship. So we are set up for an incredible year in 2026. But as we talk about Scottie Scheffler, it is important to underscore yet again just what we're seeing. We're watching Michael Jordan in his prime. We're watching Tiger Woods in his prime, because Scottie Scheffler, as good as he was in 2022 when he ascended to number one, but better and better and better he gets. Let's go back to 2023 when he led the PGA Tour in scoring average by a little more than a tenth of a stroke. You see it there at the top in that far right-hand column. 2024, what did he do? How did he get better? Led the scoring average over second place, which was Xander Schauffele that year, by about a half a shot. And then last year, by almost a full shot, was he able to separate himself from the second person in scoring average on the PGA Tour in Rory McIlroy. And to put this in further context, again, what we're seeing here is sustained excellence over the course of the year, because the only other person going back all the way to 1980, when they first started keeping accurate scoring averages of the players who separated themselves, Tiger Woods, of course, after 2, 3, 4 and a decade more on the PGA Tour, when he really hit his stride. In 2007, he was a stroke and a half better than Ernie Els. In 2000, almost a stroke and a half better than Mickelson. 2009, a stroke and 2/10 of a stroke better than Steve Stricker. There you see where Scottie Scheffler is. And then Tiger Woods, of course, picks up where he left off. So in an era when people say you can't separate yourself because of equipment, that's a bunch of malarkey, by the way. You've got some of the greatest examples of players separating themselves. Never thought we'd see another Tiger Woods, but here is Scottie Scheffler. So it's extraordinary to watch, to sit back and watch one of the greatest golfers in the history of the game playing and establishing a record that 10, 20, 50, 100 years from now, we're going to be talking about again.
And I'll say this, Brandel, he has you working overtime. I mean, you did last year, I think, conservatively, 123 Scottie Scheffler breakdowns. I see it Monday through Sunday of every big championship we play, and that includes, some of the Tour Championship and the playoff events. Wherever we go, he has pushed you to dig deeper, and we certainly appreciate that. All right, how about Rory? Where are you with Rory?
Well, what's going to happen here this year with Rory? So, again, a sustained level of excellence that you just very rarely see. So what will happen this year is Rory will, as we said here, he's number 2 in the world. There's no doubt in my mind that he'll be 2 or 3. Nobody's toppling Scottie Scheffler off that top spot this year. But at the end of the year, Rory will have a sustained number, cumulative weeks in the top 10 in the world rankings. He will surpass Ernie Els and Phil Mickelson to be second only to Tiger Woods. So, again, you're talking about decade long sustained excellence. We're looking at one of the most consistent elite golfers in the history of the game in Rory McIlroy. And he's only about 2.5 years away from toppling Tiger Woods off that top spot. Tiger Woods with 906 cumulative weeks in the top 10 all time. Now, there's a big question mark about Rory. There was last year after he won the Masters. Is this going to free him up? Set him on a new level. He got over that hurdle of winning another major championship. So again, there's a possibility here that we have a great back and forth, just like we did in 2025 with Scottie Scheffler and Rory McIlroy. Breath is bated. Can't wait to see it.
Rory, Scottie combined to win 3 of the 4 majors in 2025, majors in 26 at Augusta National, Aronimink, Shinnecock Hills, and Royal Birkdale. You've identified a trend, Brandel, with respect to the majors. What is it?
Well, over the last 14 years, Rich, and look, I've gone all the way back to 1986, and I've looked at the average world rank of major championship winners. So what we've seen in the last 14 years, again, speaking of Rory and sustained excellence, you look down there at the bottom, the average world rank of major championship winners in the last 14 years. So you're talking 56 major champions here is a mind-boggling 15. You go back to, and you look, 1998 to 2011, right in the heart of Tiger Woods' dominance, you had so many bizarre winners who were 159th in the world ranks. Even the case of 396 and Ben Curtis, 111th in the world rank, and Darren Clark. It was a crazy run of golf, 30.8 for world ranking average winners in the 12 years before that. So what we have right now, and to use NFL parlance, really is the game has developed such dominant franchises going back to 2012. You got Rory, you got George Spieth, you got Dustin Johnson, you got Brooks Koepka. Here comes John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, more recently Xander Schauffele and Scottie Scheffler. You haven't seen this level of sustained excellence at the top, unrelenting, not letting those lower ranked players hardly have a chance. Really, the only outlier win we've had in the last 14 years of major championships is Phil Mickelson winning, and he was, I think, 115th in the world rankings when he won. And, well, that was Phil Mickelson. And that is just about it in terms of big surprises. Most often, we've seen the consistent golfer showing up and delivering time after time, which sets a great stage for the majors in 2026.